Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change begins with education. Not just the kind of education you get in school, but the kind of learning that transforms your thinking, your habits, and ultimately your results. See, most people believe that once they finish school, their education is complete. But that's not how life works. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Think about that for a moment. The world is changing every day. The marketplace is evolving. Technology is advancing. And if you're not learning, you're falling behind. Not immediately, not overnight, but little by little, until one day you wake up and realize that the opportunities have passed you by. Life operates by a simple law, the law of personal growth. If you want more, you must become more. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract by the person you become. That's why self-education is the key. I like to compare life to the changing seasons. Spring is the season of opportunity. If you don't plant the right seeds, if you don't learn, grow, and improve, then when harvest time comes, you'll have nothing to reap. So today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful principles you will ever learn. Educate yourself daily. Because if you commit to learning every day, if you feed your mind the right ideas, your future will look completely different. Let's get started. Let me start with a simple question. What's the price of ignorance? It's not something that shows up immediately, but over time you'll see the costs stack up. The missed opportunities, the failed dreams, the relationships that didn't grow. The price of ignorance is steep, and it doesn't come with a receipt. But here's the truth. The cure for ignorance is knowledge. And the only way to acquire that knowledge is through continuous self-education. You see, life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. And that change starts with you. The world will continue to evolve, and if you don't evolve with it, you will be left behind. The best way to make sure that doesn't happen is to never stop learning. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. This is the foundation of success. Learning doesn't end after you graduate. In fact, it's just beginning. What's the difference between those who achieve extraordinary success and those who struggle to make progress? It's simple. They are committed to lifelong learning. They are constantly improving themselves, adding to their knowledge, refining their skills, and expanding their thinking. You cannot afford to stop learning. Whether it's reading a book, attending seminars, or listening to podcasts, there are endless ways to educate yourself every day. I remember when I first heard my mentor, Mr. Schoaf, say, "Jim, don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be better." At that moment, it clicked. The key to success is not about waiting for the world to give you a break. It's about developing yourself to the point where opportunities come to you. And the way to do that is through consistent self-education. Knowledge changes everything. Let me ask you, what's in your mind? What are you filling it with? Your mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds, you'll get weeds. If you plant flowers, you'll get flowers. But here's the secret. You're the gardener. You decide what to plant. So ask yourself, what seeds are you planting every day? What are you learning that will help you grow? Are you filling your mind with positive, constructive ideas that will shape your future? Or are you letting negative thoughts and distractions take root? You see, your success is predictable. It's not magic or luck. It's the result of what you've learned and how you apply that knowledge. If you want to increase your income, increase your learning. If you want better relationships, learn better communication. If you want health and vitality, learn how to take care of yourself. The more you know, the more you can do. One of the most powerful things I ever learned was that success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is directly tied to your learning. Every day you spend growing, improving, and expanding your knowledge, you are becoming a different person. Someone who is more capable, more confident, and more ready to handle life's challenges. Let's talk about something important here. The law of incremental growth. Success doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen every day if you're growing just a little bit. Each day of learning is like adding a brick to the foundation of your future. The key to success is consistency. If you're reading, learning, and growing even a little bit every day, after a year, after 5 years, after 10 years, you will be an entirely different person. Your results will reflect your consistent effort. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is thinking that they can skip this step, that somehow they can skip the learning process and still succeed, but the reality is that you can't achieve what you haven't learned how to achieve. Knowledge is power, and applying that knowledge creates success. You can't get around it. You must develop yourself in order to develop your future. Mr. Schoaf taught me a powerful lesson. Jim, success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. That's the key. The more you learn, the more you become a magnet for the opportunities that will help you succeed. People will begin to notice your growth, and they will want to invest in you, work with you, and offer you opportunities, because they see your value. The best part of this process is that it's within your control. You are in charge of your education. Every book you read, every podcast you listen to, every seminar you attend is a chance for you to level up. The world doesn't decide for you. You decide. You can start today, and by the end of this year, you will be a different person, with a new mindset, new skills, and a new perspective on what's possible. So how do you begin? Start with a simple commitment. Educate yourself every day. Whether it's 10 pages of a book, listening to a motivational speech, or watching a tutorial on a subject you want to master, take the time every day to invest in your mind. The results will compound over time, and you will begin to see how learning changes everything. And here's the truth. The next 5 years are going to pass anyway. The question is, who will you become in those 5 years? If you want to look back and see a person who is smarter, wiser, and more successful, then start today. Start learning, start growing, start educating yourself daily. Remember, life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change starts with self-education. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more success you will attract. Start today. Your future self will thank you. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Your mind is like a garden. Now imagine for a moment that you have a small piece of land. If you plant nothing, what happens? Does it stay empty? No. Weeds will grow. And if you don't take care of it, those weeds will take over. The same is true for your mind. If you don't intentionally plant good seeds, positive thoughts, new knowledge, productive ideas, then negativity, doubt, and distractions will take root instead. That's why learning every day is so important, because every book you read, every idea you study, every lesson you absorb is a seed. And if you plant enough good seeds, you will reap an incredible harvest. One of the greatest laws of success is the law of sowing and reaping. It's as old as time. It says that whatever you plant, you will eventually harvest. If you plant discipline, you will reap success. If you plant excuses, you will reap regret. If you plant learning, you will reap wisdom. If you plant laziness, you will reap struggle. This is why daily learning matters, because the quality of your life depends on the seeds you plant in your mind. Beware of the weeds. Now, let me give you a warning. The weeds of negativity are everywhere. Turn on the news, bad news, fear, crisis. Scroll through social media, gossip, comparison, distractions. Talk to the wrong people, complaining, blaming, excuses. You don't have to plant weeds. They grow automatically. And if you're not careful, they will take over your mind. That's why you must guard your garden. Be careful about what you allow into your mind, because the things you hear, see, and focus on will shape your beliefs, your attitude, and your future. You become what you learn. Mr. Schoaf, my mentor, told me something I never forgot. Jim, you will become in 5 years the sum total of the books you read, the people you associate with, and the thoughts you think. That means if you want to change your future, change what you're feeding your mind. Read books that challenge you. Listen to speakers who inspire you. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth. Because the truth is, you cannot outperform your thinking. If you don't believe you can succeed, you won't. If you don't develop your skills, you'll stay stuck. But if you educate yourself daily, your thinking will expand, and so will your opportunities. Plant intentionally, harvest abundantly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is leaving their mind to chance. They don't take control of what they're learning, and they wonder why they feel stuck. But here's the truth. If you don't plant intentionally, you will never harvest abundantly. The most successful people in the world are intentional learners. They don't leave their growth to luck. They set aside time every day to learn. Warren Buffett reads. Elon Musk studies. Oprah Winfrey learns. Why? Because they understand that the mind must be fed, cultivated, and developed. Start small, stay consistent. You don't have to read a book a day. You don't have to spend hours studying. Start small, 10 pages a day, 10 pages today, 10 pages tomorrow. In a year, that's 3,650 pages, about 10 books. Imagine how much wiser, more capable, and more confident you'll be if you read 10 powerful books in the next 12 months. That's how you plant good seeds. Now here's the best part about planting good seeds. The harvest is guaranteed. You may not see results today. You may not see them next week. But keep planting, keep learning, keep growing. Because eventually, your seeds will grow into something incredible. The wealth you want, it starts with knowledge. The success you dream of, it starts with learning. The confidence you need, it starts with personal growth. Your future depends on today's seeds. What are you planting today? Are you feeding your mind with wisdom, or are you letting weeds grow? Because in 5 years, your life will be the result of the seeds you plant now. Success is not a mystery, it's a formula. And part of that formula is educating yourself daily. If you do this, you will not only change your thinking, you will change your results. And if you change your results, you change your life. So plant wisely, my friend. Your future is waiting. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you read a book? Not just a newspaper, not just a social media post, but a real book, a book that could change your thinking, a book that could add value to your life. Because here's a simple truth. The books you don't read won't help you. You see, when I was 25, I had pennies in my pocket and nothing in my bank account. I was behind on my bills, struggling, frustrated. And then I met a man named Mr. Schoaf, and he gave me a lesson that changed my life. He said, Jim, if you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to be healthy, study health. That made sense to me. But then he asked me something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, Jim, how many books have you read in the last 90 days? I had to think about it. 90 days is a long time. I should have been able to name several. But the truth was, I hadn't read a single book. And that's when he told me, Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want life to get better, you have to get better. That was the beginning of my journey, the power of a single book. A single book can change your life if you read it. A single idea from a great author can change your thinking if you apply it. A single lesson from a mentor can put you on a new path if you take action. But here's the catch. You have to do the work. You see, reading isn't just about gathering information. It's about transformation. It's about becoming a different person, someone who is wiser, more capable, more valuable. Because here's the reality. You cannot perform beyond what you know. If you want to make more money, you have to learn more about money. If you want to be healthier, you have to learn about health. If you want to be a leader, you have to study leadership, avoiding the trap of ignorance. Now, let me warn you about something. There's an enemy out there. It's called ignorance. And ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is struggle. Ignorance is missing out on opportunities that could change your life. You see, the problem most people have is not that they can't change their life. It's that they don't know how. The reason they don't know how? Because they never learned. They never picked up the books. They never attended the seminars. They never studied the strategies that could have helped them escape their situation. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But here's what I discovered. You are just one book away from a breakthrough. Your future depends on what you learn today. Let me give you a simple formula for success. Learn more, earn more. Grow more, achieve more. Study more, become more. Because life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. And that change begins when you commit to learning. When I started reading, I wasn't looking for entertainment. I was looking for education. I wanted answers. I wanted ideas. I wanted to build a future that was better than my past. And little by little, book by book, idea by idea, I changed. So let me ask you again. What are you reading? Because in 5 years, you will be the result of the books you read and the knowledge you apply. Take the first step. Here's a challenge for you. Pick up a book. Start with 10 pages a day. Just 10 pages. Do it for a week. That's 70 pages. Do it for a month. That's 300 pages. One full book. Do it for a year. That's 12 life-changing books. Can you imagine where you'll be if you read 12 of the right books in the next 12 months? Because here's the truth. The books you don't read won't help you. But the books you do read, they might just change your life. So start today. Your future is waiting. Let me ask you something. How much did you learn yesterday? Not last year, not last month, yesterday. Because, my friends, success is not about what you learned in school 10 years ago. Success is about what you are learning every single day. Learning is not something you finish. It's not something you graduate from. Learning is a lifelong habit. And the moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. Knowledge is not enough. Now, don't get me wrong, knowledge is important. But let me tell you something even more important. Applied knowledge. You see, some people read books, they listen to lectures, they collect information, but they never do anything with it. I call it intellectual entertainment. They know all the quotes, they've heard all the advice, but their life never changes. Why? Because knowledge without action is useless. It's like buying a gym membership but never working out, owning the books but never reading them, knowing how to succeed but never applying what you know. If you want to be successful, don't just learn, implement. The power of daily learning. Now, here's the secret. Learning a little every day will transform your life. Some people think they have to do something big. They say, one day I'll sit down and read 10 books. But the problem is, one day never comes. The key to lifelong learning is consistency. A little every day. 10 pages today, 10 pages tomorrow, 10 pages the next day. In 1 year, that's 3,650 pages. About 12 books. Imagine how much wiser, how much sharper, how much more valuable you will be after 12 great books. Learn from the right people. Now let me give you another key. Be careful who you learn from. Not all advice is good advice. Not all information is useful. I've met people who say, Jim, I get my financial advice from my uncle. I ask them, is your uncle wealthy? They say, no. Well, then why are you learning from him? If you want to be successful, learn from people who have achieved what you want. Study the great minds. Learn from history. Read books written by people who have walked the path you want to walk. Because if you want to be rich, study wealth. If you want to be healthy, study health. If you want to be happy, study happiness. It's not a mystery. Success leaves clues, but you have to be willing to follow them. The compound effect of learning. Now let me share something powerful with you. Have you ever heard of the compound effect? It says that small efforts done consistently create massive results over time. It works in finances. Invest a little every month, and one day you're wealthy. It works in health. Exercise a little every day, and one day you're fit. And it works in learning. Read a little every day, and one day you are unstoppable. Because here's the truth. Every day you learn, you are investing in yourself. And your mind is the greatest asset you will ever own. Make learning a daily ritual. So, my friends, here's my challenge to you. Make learning a daily habit. Not once a year, not once a month. Every day. Read 10 pages a day. Listen to a podcast while you drive. Take notes on something that inspires you. Study successful people. Apply one new idea every week. Because what you learn today will shape your tomorrow. Your future is in your hands. So let me leave you with this. If you want to predict your future, look at what you are learning today. Because your income, your success, your happiness, all of it will be determined by your ability to keep growing, keep improving, and keep learning. The world belongs to the learners. So never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop becoming the person you were meant to be. Your future is waiting. Go and claim it. Let me ask you a question. What's the most valuable investment you can make? Some say real estate, some say stocks, some say gold or a business. And yes, those can be good investments. But let me tell you something I learned early in my journey. The best investment you will ever make is in yourself. Not in a car, not in clothes, not in entertainment. In yourself. Because here's the truth. Your success will never be greater than your personal development. The greatest asset you have is you. Now, I didn't always know this. When I was 25, I was broke. I had nothing in my pocket. I had months of unpaid bills. And I kept looking around, wondering, why is life so hard? I thought maybe I just needed more money. But then my mentor, Mr. Schoaf, gave me a lesson I'll never forget. He said, Jim, you don't have a money problem. You have a personal development problem. I didn't like that. I thought, what do you mean? I just need a raise. I just need a better job. But he said, no, Jim, if someone handed you $1 million today, the odds are you'd lose it. Because you haven't developed the skills, the mindset, and the habits to keep it. And that was the turning point for me. He said, if you want more, you must become more. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be better. Why some people stay stuck. Now, some people never get ahead in life. Not because they're not capable, not because they're not smart, but because they stop learning. They go to school, they get a diploma, and they think they're done. They never read another book, never learn a new skill, never stretch their minds. And they wonder why they're stuck. But successful people, they never stop learning. They understand that if they want to earn more, they have to learn more. If you stop learning, you stop growing. If you stop growing, you stop improving. And if you stop improving, life gets hard. The difference between success and struggle. Let me tell you something interesting. Have you ever noticed that two people can start at the same place in life, but one ends up wealthy, successful, and fulfilled, while the other struggles for years? Why is that? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's personal education. The person who invests in learning, who studies success, who builds their mind, that's the person who gets ahead. Because knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is unstoppable. What are you feeding your mind? Now, let's talk about something important. Most people are careful about what they eat. They read nutrition labels, they watch their diet, they avoid junk food. But let me ask you, are you just as careful about what you feed your mind? Because your mind is like a garden, and whatever you plant in it, good or bad, it will grow. If you feed it negativity, fear, and doubt, guess what? You'll grow weeds. But if you feed it books, wisdom, and new ideas, you'll grow opportunity. So my advice, guard your mind like a treasure. Read something that challenges you. Listen to something that inspires you. Study someone who has achieved what you want. Because here's the truth. You will become what you consistently learn. Developing the skills that matter. Now, some people say, Jim, what should I learn? And my answer is, learn what will move your life forward. If you want to succeed in business, study business. If you want to be a great speaker, study communication. If you want to build wealth, study money. And here's something I've learned. The most valuable skills in life are not taught in school. Schools teach math, history, and science. That's good. But they don't teach you how to manage money, how to think critically, how to build relationships, how to stay disciplined. And yet, those are the things that determine your success. So if school won't teach you, you must teach yourself. The 5-hour rule for lifelong learning. Now let me share with you a habit that changed my life. It's called the 5-hour rule. Very successful people like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, they follow this simple rule. Spend at least 5 hours a week learning. That's 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Read a book, take a course, listen to a great speaker. 5 hours a week may not seem like much, but over time, it will transform your life. Because here's the truth. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. One lesson, one book, one skill at a time. Your future depends on your education. So let me leave you with this. Your future is not determined by your past. Your success is not determined by your circumstances. Your potential is not limited by where you are today. The only thing that will determine where you end up in life is how much you are willing to learn. So my advice, become a student of life. Read every day, study every day, grow every day. Because the more you learn, the more you can achieve. And remember this, your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal education. So invest in yourself. Because when you do, the rewards are endless. Let's take a moment to think about something important. Knowledge isn't just power. It's the beginning of a ripple effect. You see, the moment you learn something new, you don't just change your life in that instant. You set off a chain reaction, a ripple that can affect your family, your community, your business, and the world around you. If you want to change your life, the first step is always going to be learning. But then, as you apply that knowledge, it spreads, it multiplies, it has an impact on those around you, whether you realize it or not. The power of a new idea. Let me tell you something. One idea can change everything. It might sound simple, but it's true. A new idea, a different way of thinking, can transform your future. I know it transformed mine. I remember when I first got the idea that if I wanted to have more, I needed to become more. That idea became my foundation for success. And that idea didn't just stay in my mind, it spread. I shared it with my team, my family, my friends, and as they learned and applied it, their lives changed too. You see, success is never a solo journey. It's about how you elevate others as you climb. When you change, others change with you. What happens when you stop learning? I've seen it time and time again. The moment people stop learning, they stop growing. And when they stop growing, they start to wither. Life begins to feel stagnant. The world passes them by. Opportunities slip through their fingers because they simply don't have the right mindset, the right tools, or the right knowledge to recognize them. People get stuck. They go through the motions. They wait for a miracle. But miracles don't happen to those who stop learning. If you want to see the world change, it begins with you. It begins with the knowledge you acquire and the actions you take, the ripple effect of small actions. Don't underestimate the power of small actions. You might think that reading 10 pages a day isn't a big deal, but it is. That small investment of time every day, of learning, of absorbing new ideas, of improving your mind, will compound over time and create massive results. And just like a pebble thrown into a pond, that ripple will spread. What you learn and apply doesn't just change your life, it changes everything around you. When you improve, your family improves. Your friends improve. Your work improves. Your relationships improve. Because when you grow, your influence grows. The importance of influence. You see, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. As you improve yourself, your influence grows. And as your influence grows, you can lift others up with you. This is why education isn't just about you. It's about everyone around you. If you want to make a real difference in this world, it's about sharing what you learn with others. It's about teaching. It's about mentorship. It's about spreading knowledge and inspiring those around you to become better too. The ripple effect of knowledge and growth is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It creates lasting change. Invest in your mind. It's the best asset. Now I want to ask you again, what is the most valuable thing you can invest in? Is it real estate? Stocks, a business, or is it your mind? Because let me tell you something that I've learned over the years. Nothing else can give you the return on investment that personal education can. When you invest in your mind, the dividends are endless. You become a better communicator, a better leader, a better thinker, a better problem solver, a better person. And as your personal education grows, so does your wealth. Financial, emotional, relational, and spiritual. Everything improves. Because the greatest wealth you will ever have is the knowledge and skills you possess. And that knowledge, when applied, will change the way you live. Change starts with you. You see, everything you desire in life is connected to your personal growth. If you want more happiness, you need to grow as a person. If you want more success, you need to grow as a person. If you want more fulfillment, you need to grow as a person. The key to unlocking everything you want is simple: grow. You've heard the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But let me tell you something even more powerful. When the student is committed to learning, the opportunities will appear. The people, the resources, the lessons, all of it will come your way. But it starts with your commitment to growth. So, as we come to the close of this journey together, let me leave you with this. Your future is in your hands. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you the answers. You don't have to wait for someone else to open the door. The key to success is in the books you read, the lessons you learn, and the actions you take. So invest in your mind, keep learning, keep growing, keep striving, because the life you want is waiting for you on the other side of your education. Remember, the world doesn't care what you know, it cares about what you do with what you know. So take action, apply what you learn, and watch as your life transforms, your influence expands, and your success becomes inevitable. This is your journey, and it begins right here. Now go out there and make it happen.